preserving the educational mission, LaSallian values, and diversity of St. Michael's High School for the next 150 years. In 1684, St. John Baptiste de La Salle founded the religious congregation known as the Brothers of the Christian Schools. La Salle and the Christian Brothers reformed the educational process in France and ultimately throughout the world by reaching out to all social classes, especially the poor, and combining intellectual studies with moral, spiritual, and social values aimed at the development of the whole person. This educational experience is broadly referred to as the LaSallian tradition. In order to advance the state of the educational landscape in Santa Fe, in 1859, Archbishop Lamy prevailed on the Superior General of the Christian Brothers in France to send 4 Christian brothers to establish a school in Santa Fe. Brothers Hilarion, Gandolf, Jeremias, and Galmer Joseph arrived on October 27, 1859, to establish St. Michael's. St. Michael's started humbly in a mud hut with dirt floors on November 22, 1859. The land had been purchased by Archbishop Lamy next to the San Miguel Mission, which had been erected in 1610. St. Michael's and the San Miguel Mission have been institutional landmarks in our community for generations. Widely regarded as the Christian brother who made St. Michael's go, Brother Butolph served as director of the school for 36 years, from 1870 to 1906. Under his leadership, St. Michael's built the 3-story 1878 building and the 1887 building. The school buildings were an unparalleled accomplishment in the field of education at the time. By an act of the legislature in 1891, Brother Butolph was appointed a member of the Territorial Board of Education, where he spearheaded significant educational reforms for St. Michael's, as well as for the public schools. With the completion of these 2 buildings, St. Michael's possessed the best-equipped educational plant in the Southwest. This achievement was made possible through many individual contributions from the community. The 1878 building exists today as the Lamy Building, while the 1887 building is the current Lew Wallace Building. On November 30th, 1926, a fire broke out in a classroom of the 1878 building, destroying the tower and upper story of the school. A group of students could not bear to see their school totally destroyed. They took the hose from the frozen hands of the firemen and rushed up the main stairs in the very face of danger and succeeded in stopping the fire. In the end, a new school building was needed. The director at the time, Brother August, was not anxious to plunge the institution into debt by making a loan. In 1872, Miguel Chavez, then a poor young student, attended grade school at St. Michael's through the charity of Archbishop Lamy, who paid his tuition. At age 14, he was obliged to leave school and look for work to support his ailing mother. He worked in a local restaurant as a dishwasher and then moved to Park View, where he worked in a store. Over many years of hard work, he opened a store of his own and ultimately amassed a considerable estate. Throughout his life, he recognized the influence of his short time at St. Michael's on the formation of his character and in the achievement of his success. A few days after the 1926 fire, Brother August was walking downtown when he chanced across Miguel Chavez, then in his 70s. Mr. Chavez inquired into the prospects of putting up the needed school building. Brother August told him that the brothers and students were praying to St. Joseph for assistance. Mr. Chavez smiled and replied, "Your prayers are answered, brother. I will build your school." The Miguel Chavez Memorial, as the 1928 building was named, served as the home of St. Michael's for the next 40 years. The sculpture of Miguel Chavez stood proudly at the front of that building until 1968, when St. Michael's moved to its present home on Siringo Road. Miguel Chavez sculpture still stands in the lobby of St. Michael's. Loretto Academy was founded before St. Michael's in 1852, when Archbishop Lamy brought several sisters of Loretto from Kentucky to operate a school for girls in Santa Fe. The school served the community alongside St. Michael's for 116 years. It closed in 1968 when Loretto students entered the first coeducational program at St. Michael's High School at its new home on Siringo Road. Today, St. Michael's has an enrollment of 841 students in grades 7th through 12th. In the tradition of the Christian Brothers, the student body represents a diverse cross-section of the community. Combining a demanding college preparatory curriculum in an environment that emphasizes moral, spiritual, and social values, St. Michael's continues to reach the minds and hearts of each of its students as the institution reaches its 150th anniversary. Through the commitment and generosity of Miguel Chavez and others like him, St. Michael's has overcome demanding challenges and financial crises for 150 years in order to continue the Lasallian mission of providing students from all walks of life with a quality education in a faith-based spiritual environment. For more than 5 generations, St. Michael's has produced thousands of diverse political leaders, educators, artists, businesswomen, and businessmen who continue to make a difference in our community. As was the case with Miguel Chavez, generosity was born of the educational experience itself, a recognition of the lasting guidance and lifelong values instilled by the institution. By joining together as members of the Miguel Chavez Society, we can, through the economic power of our collective investments, preserve and perpetuate the educational mission, Lasallian values, and diversity that St. Michael's has brought to our community for 150 years. As history demonstrates, despite its longevity, this venerable institution is not immune from the economic challenges that threaten its mission and very existence. The institution continues to need the support of the community. With the support of individuals like you, the tradition of St. Michael's will continue. Like Miguel Chavez all those years ago, we too must answer the appeal of the Christian brothers and to say, brothers, we will continue to build your school.